Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Reshma Tiwari with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to embark on a two-nation tour to Germany and UAE tomorrow. Mr. Modi says he is looking forward to meet leaders of some of the participating G7 and guest countries. Prime Minister to share his thoughts with the people in the 90th episode of Mann Ki Baat tomorrow. Home Minister Amit Shah says budgetary provision for disaster management increased by 122% in last 8 years, addresses Parliamentary Consultative Committee meeting on disaster management. Impasse in Shiv Sena continues. Assembly Deputy Speaker Narhari Jhirwal issues notices to 16 MLAs of Eknath Shinde faction. US President Joe Biden signs breakthrough gun safety legislation. DD Sports to exclusively broadcast live the India-West Indies cricket series next month. In archery, Indian duo of Jyoti Surekha and Abhishek Verma win gold in World Cup Stage 3 mixed team event in Paris. And in women's cricket, India wins T20 series against Sri Lanka 2-0 in the 3-match series, beat Sri Lanka by 5 wickets in the second T20 international at Dambulla. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will embark on a 3-day visit to Germany and the United Arab Emirates beginning tomorrow. He will attend the G7 summit at Schloss Elmau under the German presidency on the 26th and 27th of this month. Mr. Modi will be attending the G7 summit at the invitation of the Chancellor of Germany, Olaf Scholz. In his departure statement ahead of the visit, the Prime Minister said it will be a pleasure to meet the German Chancellor again after the productive India-Germany intergovernmental consultations last month. He said, in an effort to strengthen international collaboration on important global issues, Germany has also invited other democracies such as Argentina, Indonesia, Senegal and South Africa to the summit. During the sessions of the summit, Mr. Modi will be exchanging views with the G7 countries, G7 partner countries and guest international organizations on topical issues such as environment, energy, climate, food security, health, counter-terrorism, gender equality and democracy. Mr. Modi said he is looking forward to meet leaders of some of the participating G7 and guest countries on the sidelines of the summit. Briefing media in New Delhi, Foreign Secretary Vinay Mohan Kwatra said the invitation to the G7 summit is in keeping with the tradition of strong and close partnership and high-level political contacts between India and Germany.
India's regular participation at the G7 summit clearly points to increasing acceptance and recognition that India needs to be a part of any and every sustained effort to find solution to solve the challenges, global challenges in particular, which are being faced by the world.
The Prime Minister said while in Germany, he is also looking forward to meet members of the Indian diaspora from across Europe who are contributing immensely to their local economies and also enriching India's relations with European countries. The Group of 7 is an informal group of Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom and the United States. On his way back to India on Tuesday, the Prime Minister will make a brief stopover in Abu Dhabi for a meeting with UAE President and ruler of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. He will convey personal condolences at the passing away of Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the former UAE President and ruler of Abu Dhabi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio at 11 a.m. tomorrow. It will be the 90th episode of the monthly radio program. The program will be broadcast on the entire network of All India Radio and Doordarshan, AIR News website and News on AIR mobile app. It will also be live-streamed on the YouTube channels of AIR News, DD News, PMO and Information and Broadcasting Ministry. AIR will broadcast the program in regional languages immediately after the Hindi broadcast. The regional language versions will also be repeated at 8 p.m. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has shared an e-book covering the key themes of last month's Mann Ki Baat episode. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said the e-book contains insightful articles written by eminent people from different walks of life.
Union Home Minister Amit Shah has hailed the Supreme Court's verdict in the Gujarat riots case, saying those who levelled politically motivated allegations should apologize. The Apex Court yesterday dismissed a plea filed by Zakia Jafri challenging the clean chit given by the Special Investigation Team to then Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi and several others in the 2002 Gujarat riots case.
एक भी आरोप टीका नहीं है। मोदी जी बिल्कुल कोई आरोप के बगैर पूरी बात से आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजमेंट से बाहर आ गए हैं और आज सत्य का विजय हुआ है। जिन लोगों ने भी मोदी जी पर आरोप लगाए थे, अगर उनकी अंतरात्मा है तो उन्होंने मोदी जी की और भारतीय जनता पार्टी की क्षमा मांगनी चाहिए।
The Supreme Court also held that the petition was devoid of merit. In an interview to a news agency, Mr. Shah said the court has said that the riots after the burning of train in Godhra were not pre-planned but self-motivated. He asserted that everything was done to control the situation at that time. The minister also said there was no delay from the government side to take steps to control the situation, and the army was called that afternoon itself. Home Minister Amit Shah and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh have termed the imposition of emergency in 1975 a dark chapter in history. Mr. Shah said in a tweet that on this day the Congress smashed the constitutional rights of every Indian by imposing an emergency. He saluted those who have dedicated their lives for the restoration of democracy against this dictatorial mindset. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh urged the people to dedicate themselves to the defence of democracy and take a pledge to maintain the dignity of the Constitution and institutions. BJP President JP Nadda said the planned and systematic destruction of the country's democratic institutions during the dark days of the emergency by the Congress party will never be forgotten. In a tweet, he said the country is remembering the great heroes who fought to protect Indian democracy and constitutional values.
Home Minister Amit Shah has said that the budgetary provision for disaster management has been increased by 122% in the last 8 years by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which shows the priority towards disaster management. He was addressing the Parliamentary Consultative Committee meeting on disaster management at the Statue of Unity near Kevadia in Gujarat today. He said the present government has adopted a holistic approach towards disaster management, making it relief-centric, early warning-centred, proactive and based on early preparedness. Mr. Shah said his ministry, in collaboration with National Disaster Management Authority and National Disaster Response Force, is playing a vital role in assisting the states and union territories by providing logistics and financial assistance and coordinating response and relief measures during natural calamities. He said 1 lakh community volunteers are being trained for disaster response and preparedness in 350 disaster-prone districts under Aapada Mitra scheme. The Home Minister said India is at the forefront of the world in the field of disaster management and will further strengthen its position by the completion of 100 years of independence in 2047.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to embark on a 2-nation tour to Germany and UAE tomorrow. Mr. Modi says he is looking forward to meet leaders of some of the participating G7 and guest countries. Prime Minister to share his thoughts with the people in the 90th episode of Mann Ki Baat tomorrow. Home Minister Amit Shah says budgetary provision for disaster management increased by 122% in last 8 years. Addresses Parliamentary Consultative Committee meeting on disaster management. Impasse in Shiv Sena continues. Assembly Deputy Speaker Narhari Jirwar issues notices to 16 MLAs of Eknath Shinde faction. US President Joe Biden signs breakthrough gun safety legislation. DD Sports to exclusively broadcast live the India-West Indies cricket series next month. In archery, Indian duo of Jyoti Siroha and Abhishek Verma win gold in World Cup Stage 3 mixed team event in Paris. And in women's cricket, India wins T20 series against Sri Lanka 2-0 in the 3-match series, beat Sri Lanka by 5 wickets in the second T20 international at Dambulla. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर।
8700014242।
कंपटीशन की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी, तो उनके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पर हम लाए हैं अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जिसमें आप पूछेंगे सवाल व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर, या फिर ईमेल करेंगे abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर, और हमारे विशेषज्ञ देंगे इसका जवाब। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
Welcome back to the evening news. In Maharashtra, Deputy Speaker of the State Legislative Assembly, Narendra Jhirwal, has issued notices to 16 Shiv Sena MLAs of Eknath Shinde faction. Shiv Sena MPs Arvind Sawant, Anil Desai, Subhash Desai had made a demand to disqualify these MLAs. Taking the cognizance, the Deputy Speaker has asked these MLAs to reply to these notices in the next 48 hours, that is by 5:30 p.m. on Monday. He said failing to reply to the notices will lead to necessary action against the rebel MLAs. Meanwhile, dissident Sena MLA Deepak Kesarkar has said that they will move the court challenging the appointment of Group Leader of the House in the form of Ajay Chaudhary and issuance of notices. A report.
Even as the political impasse in Maharashtra continues on the fifth day in a row since the splinter group from Shiv Sena, led by Eknath Shinde, revolted with dozens of MLAs, rebel legislator Deepak Kesarkar today clarified that the faction will not merge with any other political party. He said legislators who are camping in Guwahati will return to Mumbai once the situation becomes normal. He said Eknath Shinde is their leader and those supporting him are party workers. Mr. Kesarkar said in State Legislative Assembly, the faction led by Shinde is the Shiv Sena and they will prove the majority on the floor of the house. He alleged that the NCP, which came to power because of Shiv Sena, is harassing the leaders from the Saffron party. As a reason, he said it is beneficial to go with the BJP. Senior Congress leader Bala Saheb Thorat said there is no need to impose President's rule in the state. Kunal Shinde, AIR News, Mumbai.
Earlier today, National Executive Committee of Shiv Sena authorized Uddhav Thackeray to take strict action against all those who have betrayed the party. The decision was taken in the Executive Committee meeting held at Sena Bhavan in Mumbai today. US President Joe Biden today signed into law the first major federal gun safety legislation passed in decades. The law marks a significant bipartisan breakthrough on one of the most contentious policy issues in Washington. The new law enhances background checks on young gun buyers between 18 and 21 years of age. The legislation came together in the aftermath of recent mass shootings at an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas, and a Buffalo, New York supermarket. The House of Representatives on Friday passed the bill by 234 to 193, including 14 Republicans voting with Democrats. The Senate passed the bill in a late-night vote on Thursday. After signing the bill at the White House, Biden said it is going to save a lot of lives.
Their message to us was do something. How many times have we heard that? Just do something. Well, today we did. While this bill doesn't do everything I want, it does include actions I've long called for that are going to save lives. It funds crisis intervention, including red flag laws. It keeps guns out of the hands of people who are a danger to themselves and to others. It requires young people aged 18 to 21 to undergo enhanced background checks. It includes the first ever federal law that makes gun trafficking and straw purchases distinct federal crimes for the first time.
The Bahujan Samaj Party has decided to extend its support to NDA presidential candidate Draupadi Murmu. Talking to the media, BSP chief Mayawati said the party has taken this decision keeping in mind that the tribal community is an important part of the party's movement. She said this decision is neither intended to support the BJP or NDA nor to go against the opposition UPA, but keeping in mind the BSP and its movement for making a capable and dedicated tribal woman the president of the country. The Bahujan Samaj Party has only one MLA in the present state assembly, while it has 10 members in the Lok Sabha. The Coal Ministry has said that domestic raw coking coal production continues to witness an increasing trend in the current fiscal. It was over 8 million tonne, 20% more during the same period previous year. The ministry targets to increase coal production to 140 million tonne by 2030. The ministry highlighted, at present, domestic raw coking coal washing capacity is about 23 million tonne per annum. It said, Coal India Limited is planning to set up and operationalize 9 more new washeries with a capacity of 30 MTPA. After new washeries, CIL will be able to supply about 15 million tonne of washed coking coal to the steel sector, thereby reducing import of coking coal.
The National Monuments Authority observed the Martyrdom Day of the great Sikh warrior Baba Banda Singh Bahadur at Red Fort in New Delhi today. The event was attended by Union Minister of State for Culture Meenakshi Lekhi, Authority's Chairman Tarun Vijay and Baba Jatinder Pal Singh Sodhi, who is 10th generation descendant of Baba Banda Singh Bahadur. Speaking on the occasion, Ms. Lekhi said Baba Banda Singh Bahadur defended the honour of the Sikh religion by sacrificing his life, and his courage should not be forgotten. She assured all support for declaring the place of Banda Bahadur's martyrdom a national monument.
बाबा बंदा बहादुर जी का जो इतिहास है वो हर भारतीय के लिए गौरवान्वित होने का इतिहास है। धर्म की रक्षा के लिए, देश के प्रेम के लिए और समाज की सुरक्षा के लिए जो कुछ वो कर सकते थे उन्होंने किया और समय है कि आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव में इनके जीवन का उत्सव हम मनाएं और इनकी शहादत से हम सब लोग सीख लें कि हमें धर्म की रक्षा के लिए जो भी कुछ करना पड़े वो करेंगे।
As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events is being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The next question of Amrit Mahotsav quiz will be shared with the listeners on Monday, the 27th of June. Celebrate 75 years of India's independence by participating in Amrit Mahotsav quiz with AIR News. And now let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News, Birth of a Nation.
India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle
Episode, we remember freedom fighter Sucheta Kriplani, who was born on the 25th of June 1908 in Ambala, Haryana. Sucheta Kriplani was the first woman chief minister of an Indian state, serving as the head of the Uttar Pradesh government from 1963 to 1967.
Although Sucheta was known for her iron will and steadfast leadership capabilities, she confessed to being a shy and self-conscious child. In her own words, it was only after witnessing horrific events carried out by the British occupation, most notably the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, that she developed a zeal for the independence movement and found her voice.
Kriplani studied at Indraprastha College and Punjab University. She chose to become a professor of constitutional history at Banaras Hindu University, as the university played a central role in anti-colonial activities.
At the Banaras University, Sucheta met the well-known freedom fighter J.B. Kripalani, who often visited the campus to recruit volunteers for the freedom movement. Later, the two worked closely on earthquake relief in Bihar in 1934 and decided to get married 2 years later.
But Kriplani was 20 years her senior, and the announcement did not find favour with either family. Gandhiji too wasn't pleased, as he felt that family responsibilities might divert Acharya Kriplani's attention from national work. However, Gandhiji later agreed, and Sucheta Kriplani also started joining actively in the Satyagraha marches and soon assumed a leadership role.
Kripalani garnered a public image when she joined the Quit India movement and began working closely with Mahatma Gandhi during the partition riots. She was arrested during the Quit India movement and kept in Lucknow jail till July 1945.
Sucheta's contribution to the freedom struggle was so significant that in 1946 she was appointed member of the Constituent Assembly. She famously sang Sare Jahan Se Acha in the Constituent Assembly on the 15th of August 1947 when India gained independence.
After independence, Sucheta remained involved with politics and was elected as Lok Sabha MP in 1952, 1957 and 1967.
In October 1963, she became the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, the first woman to hold that position in any Indian state. Although Kripalani passed away in 1974, she is still revered in India as a symbol of women empowerment. AIR News salutes the great woman freedom fighter.
We also remember independence activist Hassa, a resident of Amritsar, Punjab, who was executed on the 25th of June 1919. Son of Muhammad Sheikh, Hassa was active in organizing the Hartal on the 6th of April 1919 in Amritsar as part of the nationwide call of Hartal given by Mahatma Gandhi to protest against the Rowlatt Act.
Hassa was tried and convicted in the Amritsar Alliance Bank murder case by Martial Law Commission and executed on the 25th of June 1919. AIR News salutes the brave martyr.
We also remember Martyr Videshi Ram, a resident of Santhal Parganas, Jharkhand, who took an active part in the Quit India movement. Videshi Ram was arrested and imprisoned for his nationalist activities, and he died during imprisonment in Dumka jail on the 25th of June 1944. We salute the brave son of the soil.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
National Commission for Women organized a one-day seminar on anti-human trafficking awareness in collaboration with Bureau of Police Research and Development. The one-day awareness session discussed introduction, concept, patterns and existing response system of human trafficking and the psychosociological impact of trafficking as well as the role of civil society organizations in its prevention. Chairperson Rekha Sharma stressed on the importance of preventing human trafficking at source for effective combat. She said there is a need to focus on prevention of trafficking. She further said NCW has set up its own anti-human trafficking cell and this is just the beginning. The National Health Authority will be hosting its first ever open to all hackathon series to drive ideation and innovations around the different building blocks in the Ayushman Bharat digital mission ecosystem. The series will begin with a hackathon from 14th to the 17th of next month. The hackathon shall be focused on the Unified Health Interface, UHI, and would aim at mobilizing the health startup ecosystem in India and bringing together individuals and organizations to develop solutions through UHI. This hackathon will provide an excellent opportunity for innovators, data experts and developers from all over the world to collaborate and build innovative solutions for providing access to digital health services through UHI.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has warned that the world is facing a real risk of multiple famines this year. In a video message to the Uniting for Global Food Security Ministerial Conference in Berlin, he said 2023 could be even worse because of the growing shortage of food around the globe. Mr. Guterres said the war in Ukraine has added to the disruptions caused by climate change, the pandemic and inequality to produce an unprecedented global hunger crisis already affecting hundreds of millions of people. He said all harvests will be hit, including rice and corn, affecting billions of people across Asia, Africa and the Americas, and this year's food access issues could become next year's global food shortage. Live broadcast of all cricket matches of India's tour of West Indies in July 2022 will be available exclusively on DD Sports. The I&B Ministry said that DD Sports will broadcast all matches on all cable and DTH platforms apart from DD Free Dish. DD Sports will also air special shows based on pre-match and post-match analysis with experts and cricket celebrities. India Tour of West Indies 2022 comprises 3 ODI and 5 T20I matches starting 22nd July to 7th August.
Archers Jyoti Surekha Vennam and Abhishek Verma won the gold medal in compound mixed team event at the World Cup Stage 3 in Paris today. The Indian duo beat France 152-149. Both Indian archers hit nines to win country's first medal at the ongoing event. Jyoti also clinched a silver in the individual event after a heartbreaking loss in the final to Great Britain's Ella Gibson in the shoot-off. The Indian recurve women's team of Ankita Bhakat, Deepika Kumari and Simranjeet Kaur also reached the final on Thursday, ensuring a medal for the country. In women's cricket, India defeated host Sri Lanka by 5 wickets in the second T20 international at Dambulla. Chasing the target of 126 runs, the visitors made 127, losing 5 wickets with 5 balls to spare. With the second consecutive win, Indian Eves have secured an unassailable lead in the 3-match series. Earlier, electing to bat after winning the toss, Sri Lankan Eves scored 125 for 7 in stipulated 20 overs. Harmanpreet Kaur-led Indian team won the series opener by 34 runs on Thursday. The tour is the first series for India in the post-Mithali Raj era, with the 39-year-old announcing her retirement from all forms of cricket a fortnight ago. Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Thakur has congratulated the Indian archer duo on clinching the gold medal in the mixed compound event. In a tweet, the minister said India maintained their impressive lead over France to win.
In Ranji Trophy final, Mumbai were 113 for 2 in their second innings against Madhya Pradesh at stumps on day 4 in Bengaluru. Mumbai is trailing by 49 runs. Earlier, Madhya Pradesh scored 536 runs in their first innings at M. Chinnaswamy Stadium, taking a comfortable lead of 162 runs. Mumbai finished their first innings at 374. The International Maritime Organization, IMO, is celebrating the Seafarer Day today. It is celebrated on the 25th of June each year to pay respect to seafarers and sailors who help the entire world function by conducting sea transport. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to embark on a 2-nation tour to Germany and UAE tomorrow. Mr. Modi says he is looking forward to meet leaders of some of the participating G7 and guest countries. Prime Minister to share his thoughts with the people in the 90th episode of Mann Ki Baat tomorrow. Home Minister Amit Shah says budgetary provision for disaster management increased by 122% in last 8 years, addresses Parliamentary Consultative Committee meeting on disaster management. Ampas in Shiv Sena continues. Maharashtra Assembly Deputy Speaker Narhari Chirwal issues notices to 16 MLAs of Eknath Shinde faction. US President Joe Biden signs breakthrough gun safety legislation. DD Sports to exclusively broadcast live the India-West Indies cricket series next month. In archery, Indian duo of Jyoti Surekha and Abhishek Verma win gold in World Cup Stage 3 mixed team event in Paris. And in women's cricket, India wins T20 series against Sri Lanka 2-0 in 3-match series, beat Sri Lanka by 5 wickets in second T20I at Dambulla. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.